It was the party that everyone had to join, whether they liked it or not. This was the KANU juggernaut at its peak. But the unprecedented events leading up to the 1992 elections finally put Kenya's grand old party on the defensive, fighting for re-election after the repeal of that contentious section of the constitution.
Kitu minauliza nyinyi leo, ili tuone hawa walio katika siasa, wale walio watumishi wa serikali, sisi tuseme kwamba tufungue, tuondoe ile section ya katiba ya Kenya ya 2A.
Na kwa hivyo, kama ulivyotuambia mtukufu rais, mimi kwangu naunga mkono, kwa sababu hawa watu wanaitwa Ford na wengine wameendelea kudanganya wananchi ya kuwa kuna kitu wananyimwa.
KANU, it so appeared, lacked a narrative to take to the people, as the opposition failed rallies with hitherto unimaginable numbers. But KANU, and Moi's opportunity to stay in power, lacked in his incumbency and a constituency that hadn't been harnessed for his use before. And so, Youth for KANU, or YK92, was born. With a 30-year-old should operate as its chairman, Cyrus Jirongo, in a departure from traditional campaigns, YK92 was given full state backing, and Jirongo, together with William Samuel Ruto and tens of other youth, was certainly at the center of high-stakes power game.
Kila mmoja wao akiwa mwanasiasa anasema, mimi niko na vijana. They are proud of the youth. Mimi niko na vijana. I think it is time hata sisi kama vijana tuseme sisi tuko na wazee.
We have no history of being losers. We shall deliver.
That was the opening Jirongo increasingly wealthy Sololo company needed to land a multi-billion shilling deal with the National Social Security Fund. 20 years later, that dream deal is now a nightmare. The headliner takes you through these metamorphoses and separates fact from fiction. In 1992, Cyrus Jirongo approached City Finance Bank with a deal to develop a piece of land in present-day South B, building 100 machinates, 320 residential flats, one nursery school with capacity for 100 children, a shopping complex, and a primary school, all at a cost of 1.2 billion shillings. Jirongo was advanced 300 million shillings to put up the project. He would later enter into another deal with NSSF with the same plan, this time for the fund to buy all the houses after completion. With this, the loan facility was moved from City Finance to Post Bank Credit. President Moi would end up winning the election of 1992 amid bitter protest by the opposition. But inside KANU, the YK92 operatives boasted of delivering another 5-year term to Moi. Soon after, a bitter scuffle ensued for the kitchen cabinet. A confident Jirongo would claim that a youthful vice president be nominated by Moi, but that seemed to be a step too far for Moi. 1993, NSF managing trustee then, Samuel Mundi, cancelled the deal between Sololo outlets and the Pensioners Fund. Mundi would argue that the NSSF was ill-advised to enter into the deal in the first place, but also that Jirongo had asked for an upward revision of the final amount to be paid to Sololo. Mugoya Construction Company and Panafri Construction Company would take over the deal. NSSF paid 1.5 billion shillings in full for that construction of Hazina houses, which up to that point was 75% done. Mutula Kilonzo was immediately appointed to act on behalf of NSSF in the period between 1993 and 1994, offering legal services. He was paid 177 million shillings. The total budget for law firms involved was 252 million shillings.
These are the legacies of a very rotten KANU regime, which basically abused discretion over national assets such as land, completely subverted the land title system. In the old days, they even used to have double and triple titles issued for the same.
Hii makosa inatukula kwa NSSF ni ile ya zamani 1990. Pale pesa zilikuwa zinatoka at gunpoint. We had no control. Wale watu tulikuja kwa hiyo board. Later, we had to seal that.
20 years down the line, and a deal that was worth 1.3 billion shillings has paid to law firms more than 2 billion shillings. Dozens of documents seen by NTV over the deal that has since gone sour point to the use of state machinery time and time again. The government was advised by Mutula Kilonzo and Associates to reject the award by the arbitrator and instead employ other means.
You can't have a situation where the Social Security Fund has allegedly put up a housing project and it's not able to confer title if it wanted to sell the individual units. There is something grotesquely wrong with that scenario. It's not acceptable. I think there you've got to put pressure perhaps on the Ministry of Lands. When are they going to intervene?
We have since sold as NSSF all the houses.
The NSSF still incurs the legal fees up to date over the same issue, while on the other hand, Sololo Outlets is laying claim to Hazina houses since NSSF has sold what it hasn't finished paying for.
Well, it's been over 20 years since the Hazina deal went sour, and to date, the dealings remains mad in loads of documents, but for the most part, obscure what really happened. No clarity, no closure. But still, no respect to the taxpayer who up to date continues paying through the nose. James Smart, NTV.